Welcome to the top 20 cards in sports collecting history. In this 4-part series, I will be going over the 20 greatest sports cards of all time depicted by the book, The Diamondbacks Collection, 50 of the greatest cards in sports collecting history, written by Tom Zappala and Ellen Zappala with John Mallory. In this video, I will only cover the top 20 cards, but the other 30 cards in this book will be covered in future videos. As a disclaimer, the cards in this list are not ranked based off of monetary value, but based on the perception of greatness in the hobby of sports card collecting. However, the cards in this list can carry a high price tag.
This is part 4 of our journey. Number 5, 1933 Gowdy Napoleon LaJoie, card number 106. The 1933 Gowdy Napoleon LaJoie has always been considered one of those unattainable cards that most collectors could only dream of owning. Like the T206 Honus Wagner, the lore of the LaJoie card gave it an appeal that exceeded the greatness of the player. And to be perfectly clear, even though this card was made well after his retirement from the game, LaJoie was one of the top players during the first half of the 20th century. The card, however, became a legend of its own as it represented one of the hobby's white whales, like Moby Dick. The LaJoie eluded most who tried to hunt it down. The combination of its scarcity coupled with its value ensured that it was beyond the reach of the average collector, and it has been since the hobby was born. The 1933 Gowdy set has long been revered by collectors both for its aesthetic beauty and its vast selection of stars from Babe Ruth to Lou Gehrig to Jimmy Fox. Unlike all the other baseball legends that inhabited the set, the LaJoie was treated differently, and that treatment resulted in one of our hobby's most noteworthy rarities. The LaJoie card was not included in the set's original release. Consumers kept buying pack after pack looking for card number 106. It was a devious but effective plan by Gowdy to increase sales. In order to complete the set, collectors had to contact the manufacturer to acquire card number 106 the following year, as it was printed in 1934. The LaJoie card were sent through the mail, which is why you will occasionally see impressions of rust stains left by paper clips on the surface. Sometimes the pressure from affixing the paper clips created what collectors referred to as spider wrinkles on the front or the back. Number 4, 1909 to 1911 T206 Eddie Plank. The 1909-1911 T206 baseball card set is often referred to as the monster due to its size, especially for the period and the challenge it poses to those putting together a complete set. Within the 524 cards that make up the basic set, there are a handful of rarities that can frustrate the most seasoned collectors or destroy hobby budgets if one is so fortunate to acquire them. One such rarity is the T206 Eddie Plank, a card that doesn't quite possess the cachet of the Honus Wagner, but it provides a challenge that is more comparable than most realize. Considering its scarcity, along with the combined importance of the player in the card, one could make the argument it remains underappreciated. Incredibly, after a century has passed, there is still no definite explanation for its rarity. It is arguably the biggest mystery associated with the T206 issue, and that is saying something considering all the additional twists the turns found in the set. The two most frequently espoused beliefs are that Plank did not give permission to use his image in the set, which means they were pulled, or that a defective printing plate prevented a larger number of Planks from ever getting past quality control. Number 3, 1916 M101-5/M101-4 Babe Ruth, card number 151. This card is considered the only recognized Major League Rookie issue of the biggest name in baseball history, the figure that is the foundation of an entire hobby. Technically, Babe Ruth is featured on an earlier card, the extremely rare 1914 Baltimore News issue. It pictures him as a minor league pitching prospect for the Orioles, and yes, the Orioles were a minor league team in those days. But the M101-5/M101-4 Ruth is widely viewed as his true rookie. The card also offers the kind of symbolic value that is hard to quantify. Pictured as a member of the Boston Red Sox, it was before the curse. As an outstanding left-handed pitcher, it was before Ruth transformed into the Sultan of Swat. The visual represents the calm before the storm. The M101-5/M101-4 cards, which were distributed by Felix Mendelssohn, featured either a blank back or an ad on the reverse, ranging from the noted publication The Sporting News to clothing stores like Herpolsheimer Company and Famous and Bar Company. Each ad back offers a different level of scarcity, and there are several from which to choose. In fact, some advanced collectors have been known to assemble as many back variations of the Ruth rookie as they can, but it comes with a steep price tag. Building a collection of the nature is not for the faint of heart or the light of wallet. When it comes to condition, obstacles to be aware of, The card is commonly found off-center, particularly left to right. In addition, dark print defects in the form of specks and lines can impact its eye appeal, especially if it encroaches on Ruth's image. Number 2, 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle, card number 311. Of all the iconic issues found in this book, and an entire hobby for that matter, no other card possesses more symbolic power than this piece of pop culture art. While the T206 Honus Wagner is widely regarded as the holy grail of all trading cards, the 1952 Mickey Mantle is the card world's more sentimental poster child. The hobby transformed forever in the 1980s as our niche pastime blossomed into a nationwide phenomenon. That metamorphosis was driven by baby boomers, and no figure loomed larger to that generation than Mantle. He was the idol of all idols, and this card is the centerpiece of the most important baseball card set of the post-World War II era. Even though it is not his true rookie, the 1952 Mantle is the card to own of the Yankees legend. In 1952, after issuing a handful of smaller sets the previous year, Topps decided to launch its first Major League Baseball effort at 407 total cards. In an attempt to compete with Bowman, the reigning card manufacturing king, Topps produced and heavily marketed a larger design. This format allows the collectors to enjoy the image in a superior way, and is so fitting considering the striking appearance of the Mantle card. Specifically, the card's aesthetics provide a virtual perfect storm of eye appeal, from the rich blue and yellow colors to his fable-like name, which is complemented by his facsimile signature on the front. Number 1, 1909 to 1911 T206 Honus Wagner. The 1909 to 1911 T206 Honus Wagner is the card to own without any doubt. For over a century, this tiny treasure has taken on all comers and is still regarded as the holy grail or Mona Lisa of all trading cards. The popularity of the set, the elite status of the featured players, and the lore behind its scarcity combine to give the card an allure like no other. That said, as much as this card checks all of the relevant boxes when it comes to appeal, this is a great example of an object being worth more than the sum of its parts. After decades as the hobby's most cherished jewel, this card has taken on a life of its own. Its legend is now more important than its reality. The specific card pictured in this book has been the subject of much debate and controversy over the years. Wagner, who is still considered as one of the best, if not the best shortstop in the history of the game, lies at the center of a set that many consider the most popular baseball card issue ever released. Wagner might not have been the era's most revered player, as he battled with Ty Cobb for that honor, nor is the card's set greatest rarity, but the T206 Wagner is its most important and desirable component. Renowned photographer Carl Horner took the classic portrait used to create this card, and the regal quality of the image gives the Wagner an appearance that beautifully matches its reputation. It seems fitting that the king of all cards, the epitome of hobby royalty, looks the part. Thank you for joining me in discussing the top 20 cards in sports collecting history. Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think about the cards we covered in this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you're new or haven't considered subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.